Dear friends, is the Redeemer of mankind. My work is to bring you the truth so that you may find salvation. This moment I want us to look into the issue of people who question, where is God? Often you've got groups of people who are convicted with the idea that there is no God, and they call themselves all sorts of labels, to entertain themselves. But remember that the fundamentals don't change. Whether you speak with your mouth and confess that there is no God, the fundamentals, the truth does not change. Ultimate reality is not even shaken. In fact, your own soul is horrified, when you confess with your mouth that there is no God, because the soul knows the truth. Your ego, the one who speaks and attests that there is no God, is the ego in mankind, in the entity called mankind. So people have often come out, some of them maybe out of disappointment or anger, they end up saying that there is no God. Most people who believe that there is no God, or who say that there is no God, they are basically doing this out of anger, or resentment, or the unfulfilled expectations. Because often people will cite that where was God when my mother died, or where was God when my child died of cancer, or where was God when this or that happens. So everything that happens around them, they are excused, meaning that it's not of their own making. They have God to blame for it. That all these disasters that happen around the world, all the suffering that they see around the world, this is God's making. But what they forget quickly is that when God put mankind on earth, He put them in paradise. That's what they forget, and they quickly forget that. And all that they see around them, all that you see around you, basically, all these things have been generated through your hearts. You can look around you. You can look around the environment that you are in. You can look at the world. All these things that are happening in the world is because of the hearts of mankind. You see, the hearts of people have caused the earth to be cursed. The hearts of people, because of the way they conduct themselves, because of the way that they've strayed, because of their nature, the intent in them, the evil intent. Remember that every time you think and you speak and you act, all these things, they go out and they bring more of the same thing. If you speak and act hatred, and look at the world today, a lot of people are very angry, and they speak and act out of anger and resentment and bitterness, and hatred, and they don't realize that they gonna get more of that, because whatever that you send out, more is sent back to you. So if humanity if mankind can understand that blaming God is not going to take away their predicaments or their problems, that if they want to find God, they don't need to look up in the sky, well, maybe as evidence of God, but God is always there. If mankind open their hearts, and acknowledge Him, He is there because He loves humanity. Remember that after creating everything else, he decided to create mankind, out of his likeness, meaning that, in the image of God. So when God wants to see himself, he looks at humanity. That's why it breaks God's heart. It pains God to witness humanity who is far removed from what is the nature of God. That now he is his intent, is inclined to do evil, and he's quick to turn around and blame others. You need to understand that everything that you see around you are in a way, to blame. You yourself, you are in a way connected to that situation. Whatever situation that is bothering people now, whatever pain that people go through, mankind must know that it's of their own making. If they change the attitudes of their hearts, they can also change the situations. So if you want to find the evidence of God, you just need to look around you. You can also find the nearest mirror, because remember, the one who is alive in you knows God and is the soul. He is just covered by your ego, which is darkness, that the light of truth cannot reach that soul so that it shines. And let me tell you, your convictions are going to send you to a very terrible place. This is not punishment. This is the consequences of your actions. This is law, the law of cause and effect, the law of action and reaction. These laws cannot be changed by your tantrums or your desires. These are laws that you have found here on earth. When humanity came, these laws were there. And mankind was reminded before he transgressed the laws of the consequences. And I still remind you, even today, that you have accumulated so much debt, that the scale is tipping now and not in your favor. So you need to wake up and understand that time is running out. One day you're going to wake up and you're going to have no more time. And this I say coming from the bottom of my heart, because of the love that God has put in my heart for you. I need you to wake up before it's too late. And if you want to find God, you need to be still and ask the environment. The environment will testify, because everything that you see when your eyes are open is testament to his presence. When you find a piece of an object, anything around you, these objects that are around you, those objects around you, they are testament. This pen that I'm holding here, it's a testament of somebody who worked on this pen, somebody who came with this idea of a pen. This is a testament. This just shows, proves the presence. The same with the spaceship that you are on, which is called Earth, that is busy flying through space. This spaceship was designed by the master. It's not coincidence that you find yourself not being squashed or freezing to death or boiling to death, but being comfortable. That is no coincidence. That is through a plan. Look at yourself. You plan for your life to go well. It's indicative of where you come from, that there is a God. I know that some of you have had pleas that were never answered, so to speak. You have prayed to God when certain things were happening in your lives and you expected God to come speedily, but then it was not according to your will, but according to His will that events turned out the way that they did. But that's no reason, to believe that there's no God. Let me tell you, everything that happens around you, there is a reason behind it. And the will of God prevails, no matter what. And many people are too selfish, because loving someone, it's a selfish choice, because if you love them too much and forgetting that souls belongs to God, you love them too much and what belongs to God goes back to God, then you begin to think that maybe there is no God. But I want you to understand that all these things, they happen for a reason. Losing your loved ones, it's something that is given. Sooner or later, rather than later, death is bound to come. So think about where you're going. Don't mess around with opportunities. You are a traveling soul. You just get attached to other souls, but you are traveling souls. Your ultimate goal is one, to be reunited with your Maker, with your Father. And you can only do that if you've got a lighter burden, meaning that you did not incur too much death through your ego. Then you can rise up to the regions of light. But if you have incurred too much death, then you descend to the regions of darkness. So my work is to alert you before it's too late. Thank you.